Hello everyone, welcome to another lecture of this series on Tekla structure for concrete modeling. So today we will see few more options regarding the grid editing. Okay, so now when we are selecting this grid, you see here the grid as a whole is being selected. Okay, and the properties we are seeing is for the overall grid. After that, if you want to select any particular line in this grid, you can select it, doesn't matter. But this properties, when we are seeing, properties is for the overall grid. But suppose you want to change something for any particular grid and you want to suppose particular grid line. So how will we doing that? If you see here, okay, the selection window, currently this select grid option is turned on. Okay, so if I turn off this particular option, and just beside this we have this select grid line. If I select this one, okay, if I just turn it on, and if I suppose click outside, and if I click on the grid, if you see, now it is selecting a particular grid line, and whatever properties you are seeing for this particular grid line only. Okay, so suppose I want to select this is a particular grid line only. Okay, if I want to select this, it is the properties for this grid line 3 only. Okay, so if you want to select any particular grid line, okay, you can use this particular option. You can turn both off on. You cannot actually keep both the options turned on. Okay, any of the options you have to keep it off, and other one will be turned on. Okay, now if I select this one, the whole grid will be selected, as I have selected this select grid option. This is one thing I wanted to you can say uh, tell you. One more thing is, if I want to copy the same grid at a certain distance, so there is how what is the way to do this? So if I just select this grid, if I right click on this grid, and you'll find this option called copy. Okay, you click on copy, you select any you can say reference point which you want to move. Suppose I want to move this particular with reference to this particular point, so I'll select this particular point. Now if I just go like this, you can see there is a uh, red line which is visible, right, which is telling me that you are going straight. It is because the orthogonal option is turned on. You can see a small O here. If it is not turned on, you just have to press O in your keyboard. Okay, if I press O, you can see it is now turned off. If I see, now it is not showing. If I press O again, this orthogonal option will be turned on and it will go straight. So with this respect to this particular point, I am moving, and suppose I want to copy this grid somewhere here. If I click and click on do not expand, and now you can press escape, so you can see the other grid is also created, copy of this particular grid. So there is another way of copying this grid. If I just select the grid, right click and click on copy spatial linear. Here you can see you can put any value. Suppose I want to move it 20 meter. Okay, from the, you can say from the current location. So I will just click on, I will just put the value minus 20 meter. This direction I want to shift. I'll click on copy here. You can see it is created. And if you click on do not expand, okay, so your another grid is ready here. Okay, this way you can mirror, rotate this grid. We will see those options later. Okay, so this is the way to copy the grid that you have. If you want to draw any grid line, any additional grid line in here, okay, so if you just go to edit and grids here, you will find option called add grid line. Okay, you click on add grid line, and suppose I want to draw a you can say grid line here. Okay, so I will just select this point. Suppose select this point, do not expand, you can see another grid line is created. Suppose I want to select the midpoint. Okay, so midpoint of this, midpoint of this, not expect. So you can see very easily you can create a new grid, or suppose here I have this midpoint, additional grid I want to create. Like that, you can create this grid lines. And if you want to name it, you just take this option, select grid line. I will select this grid line. I will name it. Suppose some you can say A1 to some name. Suppose RA. as per your requirement, whatever name you want to provide, you can provide. Suppose this one, you want to name it as 2 dash. Okay, sorry, 2 dash and modify. Like that, you can change the name of the individual grid, and you can create individual grids also, additional grid line also if it is required. Okay, so this way you can copy a grid, you can create, you can say grid lines. Okay, and you can use the linear move option also, or linear copy option also, by providing uh, you can say direct value of the, you can say shift, how much you want to shift, or at what distance you want to create the copy. So these are the few things I wanted to share. From our next lecture, we'll be starting the modeling basics. Okay, and one more thing, from our next lecture, you will be finding this whole course in our Illustrata app or Illustrata website. The course name will be Tekla Structure Fundamentals for Concrete Modeling, where we'll be uploading all the upcoming lectures of this particular series. Thank you.